Mojo and I just spent 7 days on Lake Superior's shore, and we were hunting agates. Well, Mojo was there. I was doing most of the hunting, but he had fun too. I drove 600 miles for this, and I found a lot of pretty rocks, and actually had a few nice surprises. And here's the thing. 2 years ago, I didn't even know what an agate was. I'd never heard of Grand Marais. I was a retired nurse in Illinois who felt about 100 years old. And the idea of standing on a beach, sifting through rocks, it sounded like someone else's life. But now it's mine. So here's what 7 days of agate hunting looks like. What I found, what I almost missed, and why I keep coming back. We have arrived. I am staying 7 nights at the Woodland Park Campground in Grand Marais, Michigan. It's right on Lake Superior and just a few steps down to the beach. Here's something. Just mostly quartz. We'll leave this one behind. Well, this is a tiny little blurry piece of nothing. Well, this one looks interesting. I'm going to have to pick this up and check it out. See if I can get it into focus here. Yeah, I see some bands there. Yeah, it's a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. We have an agate. At the opposite end of the campground, there was this little path leading to a different access point to the beach. So we hiked down there a couple times. And, sometimes you just decide to plop down in the rocks and dig through them. Mojo just wanted to take a nap. Here are a couple that I found. This second one is one that has been tumbled for a week, so it's a little shinier. Here are a few more from Grand Marais. These have actually been tumbled for 1 week. Day 4, we went to the Blind Sucker River area. There was just pull-offs alongside the road, and it was kind of nice. We had the beach to ourselves. I didn't really find a lot here, but I sure enjoyed the peacefulness. And I brought my pottery wheel along. You can see a separate video of me throwing pottery on Lake Superior shore. But hey, why not? On day 6, we decided to head to the mouth of the Two-Hearted River. I've been wanting to go there, but have been a little afraid of the road. It was rough going, and everything in my van was pretty much moved around, but we made it, and I'm glad I made the journey because I found the best agate that I have ever found. I was a bit stressed and didn't stay as long as I thought I would, but here's the cool suspension bridge. It's such a pretty area. And I was just thinking, gosh, I wish I could just see one agate. I wish one would just show up for me. And lo and behold, it did. It was actually sitting on the beach. It had just, I think, washed up with a wave. But I grabbed it too quickly before I had a chance to video it. I didn't want the waves to take it back out. So I moved it up to the rocks where it's placed here. But isn't it a pretty one? I love the red and white bands. As I was leaving, I didn't have cell service, and so I was afraid I was going to get lost, and I kind of did. I ended up at this Ugly Fish baking company, and surprise, I got a delicious ice cream cone and a cookie for later, and directions how to get back to Grand Marais. Well, it's the last day. I did find a lot of agates this trip. I haven't even had a chance to go through all my rocks yet. But here's what's funny. I'm not sure that it's really the rocks that keeps bringing me back. 2 years ago, I stood on a beach a few hours from here in Copper Harbor, Michigan, and I found my very first agate. I was with my son. I didn't know it then, but my life was about to change. Not because of a rock, because for the first time in a long time, I was doing something that had no purpose except that it made me happy. I think that's what Grand Marais and all of my trips up to Lake Superior give me. Permission to just be. To spend 7 days bent over a beach looking for pretty rocks because I want to, because I can, because I'm not 100 years old. So the agates are nice, but that feeling, that's what I drove 600 miles for. Anyway, thanks for coming along. What's the best thing you've ever found on a beach? Rock or otherwise? I'd love to know. Please leave me a comment. And if you'd like to follow along with me and Mojo, please like and subscribe. See you later.